Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right, I record this at 6:30 p.m. West Coast time on September 9th. This is the Kamala Harris-Donald Trump debate reading. If you missed it, Gary and I did a reading on this on Sunday, I believe, and that got posted up on Monday morning today. And I'm just going to do a solo reading on it, following up on the energy, how things are looking for the debate coming up. I want to look at the overall energy of the debate, and then I'm going to look at both candidates and see how, the viewing public might look at this, and maybe try my best to look at it from a perspective of not the Harris supporters and not the Trump supporters, because typically you'll be biased. Now, that being said, we saw the last debate, and the Biden supporters could walk away from that one going, what the hell just happened? Kind of like the same thing that Biden was saying, what the hell just happened? That's not going to happen with Harris. Just not going to happen. All right, so God bless Joe Biden. He was the president we needed when we needed him. And it looks like Kamala Harris is going to be the president we need when we need her. So, regarding the debate tomorrow at ABC, and Marina and I normally have our Taco Tuesdays and Alternate Tuesdays. It would have been at 6 o'clock Pacific time, the same time as the presidential debate. We've pushed that out to 8 o'clock at night. So that'll give you time to watch the hour-and-a-half debate and then hustle over to watch us on a podcast if you're so inclined. Come on down. Let's take a look. How does the presidential debate, the energy around the presidential debate, which happens tomorrow on Tuesday. Again, this will be for entertainment purposes only. All right. How are people going to be looking at this? Seven of Coins. They're going to be looking at it with great interest. The values of the candidates. There'll be a lot of talk about money. And values. Money and values are the two things. The thing Trump is going to hit on, he's going to hit on soldiers dying in Afghanistan during the pullout. He'll hit on the southern border all the time because that's what he's trying to run on. He's going to say Kamala's done nothing to fight inflation. People don't save as much money. Jobs. It's a fairly fact-free set of accusations because it also doesn't take into account any of his culpability with it. The reason why the Afghanistan withdrawal seemed chaotic, it was actually an incredible withdrawal, was because the way Trump negotiated it. He even told the enemy when we were leaving, the deadline with which we were leaving. And Biden had to get an extension on that. Just like Trump says, you don't tell people where you're attacking. Yeah, dumbass. And you don't tell them when you're leaving either. But explain to me again how you know more than the generals. All right. People looking at values and their wealth. Underneath it is the struggle that people are having. The economic numbers seem all right. Job reports seem all right. But with this latest, sorry, I'm going to pull you up for just a second here. With this latest TikTok glitch, which wasn't a glitch, something happened with Chase Bank. I should say not TikTok glitch, but Chase Bank glitch. Something happened with Chase Bank and their ATMs, where their ATMs weren't limiting the amount of money that was being paid out when you deposited a check. Normally, you put in a $10,000 check, you might have $1,000 available. Well, in this case, it let all $10,000 be available. And something spread online that you could just write yourself as big a check as you want, and you can deposit it in the ATM and then go in the bank and withdraw the money. That's great, but for most of us, we call that fraud. You wrote yourself, and they're writing themselves a check too. So you wrote yourself a check for an amount of money that you didn't have in there, but the bank process takes a few days to catch up. So basically, these folks are defrauding Chase and then trying to spend the money as fast as they can, and now they're facing felony charges and looking at years behind bars. Why am I bringing this up? For these folks, times might be really, really tough, and the thought that they could get away with getting a large sum of cash might speak to some economic problems that aren't maybe being covered as diligently by corporate media as they might otherwise be. Things might be a little bit tougher than we expect. And so that's something that people are going to look forward to. Who's got their values covered? What's this going to be crossed by? Oh, the realism. How realistic are you going to be? The amount of integrity that you're showing. Now, mind you, Donald Trump speaks his values all the time. Build a wall, but Mexico's going to pay for it. He's got this idea that resonates with his viewers, but then he says, oh, Mexico's going to pay for it. That's not true. We're going to give a tax cut, but it's only for the rich. Yeah, you might get a little bit of a tax cut, but the rich are going to get the big tax cut. The Afghanistan thing was a disaster, but who negotiated it originally and set up the next administration for disaster? Same thing with COVID. Sold all our PPEs, gave them away, and then blamed Biden. Then let Biden clear up the mess after Biden got it. That's kind of the thing I'm going with this. And with Kamala Harris, it's going to be up for folks to judge. Is she being sincere? Is she a woman of integrity when she talks about her vision of the future of the United States? In the past, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Talking about the Seven of Pentacles. It's the values. The values people have. The practicality. Before, when people would look at the president, they're looking at, the kitchen table issues that made a difference to average Americans. And now the Republicans have gotten so big into the emotions that they don't even talk about kitchen table issues anymore. They're talking about like giant world problems, like immigrants are invading the United States. That's this big, humongous problem that doesn't exist. Again, Harris and Walz are focusing on kitchen table issues, stuff that used to be common during these debates and common during political campaigns. The current energy is the Eight of Cups. Now that's interesting. It's the emotional walking away, the abandoning of things here. I think as folks are watching this, some folks are going to change their mind as to who they're supporting. And it might just be that don't expect, if this person's read that they're a Republican, that they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. But they might move away from the drama that their current presidential candidate has. This could even be Trump walking away. I still think the debate's going to go on. He might threaten. It's just thinking, well, is Trump going to even show up? Yeah, he probably will. Maybe he'll threaten. He'll walk away, but he'll be there. Sorry, I have to sneeze offline here. There's some emotional walking away. Maybe some folks are calming down after seeing this. Overarching energy is the World card. For some people, and again, this doesn't fit Alan Lichtman's 13 keys, but I think for some people, it's going to solidify their choice as to who they're going to vote after seeing this. And they've all seen Trump. So really, this is Kamala Harris's moment to see if she can bring people in and seal the deal with the votes. A lesson to be learned is the Eight of Swords. Yeah, okay. You're not trapped. You can just because you've always voted Republican your entire life doesn't mean you can't change your mind. Also, if you're a woman, you aren't forced to vote for somebody you don't want to vote for. Vote for your values. Vote for your values. And for Democrats, you're not stuck voting for Kamala Harris. Yeah, you may not have been excited about Joe Biden. Maybe you will be about Kamala Harris, maybe not. Outcome is the Three of Cups, the celebration. Now, heaven forbid I predict any type of winners on this debate after the last debate debacle, but there's a lot of celebration going on. I think somebody does very well in the debate, and they may get a little bit of a boost because of their debate performance. And as I've said before, we've seen Donald Trump's debate performances before, haven't we? I really don't think Kamala Harris is going to be up there, mouth breathing and looking like a fish out of water, going, "What am I going to do?" That's really not who she is. Okay. They didn't shuffle. The cards were just bouncing off each other. All right. After the debate, how are Democratic voters feeling post-debate? 4 carders. Okay. 9 of Wands. Now that's interesting. Maybe there's a little bit more anxiety than we want to acknowledge with after Joe Biden's thing, because it's like, oh my God, please, we don't want this again, please. But there's a relief. There's one more battle to be fought here, and underneath is the Queen of Wands. Kamala Harris does well. A lot of fire energy on this here. We got the Magician, Death card, Ace of Swords with that Queen of Wands. I think a lot of us on the left are going in this debate like, come on, please, we don't want a repeat of the last one. The last one, if we have a repeat of the Biden style debate, that's the end of the Democratic chances, it would seem, on this election. Again, does not follow the Alan Lichtman keys, just saying from the emotion point of view. But I really think that her debate performance really calls to an end. She's manifested well, and has shows that she's speaking the truth, and she can create. It's part of that movement. It's no longer Joe Biden, and you're worried if he's going to screw up. It's really looking for the fire that comes out of this woman here. So it does look like, I guess the way to say it is, from the Democrats' point of view, there's like this huge sigh of relief that, okay, we got through that one. We didn't fumble the ball this time, and we're good to go. Which, I think we all expect Kamala to do well, but we also expected Biden to do well. And his debate performance really came out of left field. And so now you're just going to be just a little bit twitchy with it. She's going to do fine. How are the Republicans going to feel about Trump's performance? I should have asked how the Republicans feel about Kamala's performance and how the Democrats feel about Trump's performance, but I don't need to throw cards on that. Don't even need to throw cards on this one either, but how do Republicans feel about Trump's performance? Eight of Swords. Not the greatest card in the world. Kind of like these sort of oh crap, are we stuck with this guy? The Star card. I think his performance is going to be very polarizing. Whether it's, there's going to be some people that are going to view him as, the television star, and that, they're going to vote for him, and then others might see a falling star and feel like they're stuck with him. Tower. Oh, that's not good. Oh, he's got the Ace of Swords too. Look at that. And the Ace of Pentacles. Some Republicans can feel stuck with him, but it's kind of like, well, what choice do we have? Oh, never mind. Okay, I see where this is going. Okay, let me break this down. For male Republicans, they're going to feel like they got their guy. He's going to end Kamala's reign, and Trump will, he'll fundraise off of this. For the male voters, he thinks he's a star. For Republican women that want, the decisions made by the Republican Party have absolutely trashed their votes, especially a big health votes here. Trump will polarize his own voters. I think his male voters will think that that's great. The women voters will wonder if they're stuck with him. And the ones that, start realizing that your husband doesn't know who you vote for when you go in the voting booth. There's no law requiring that you detail whose box you checked for the president of the United States. They might go in there and bring his butt down, feeling their power, because they're the stars here. So, MAGA will support Trump. Male Trump supporters will support Trump. They'll think he did really well. The women are just like, I cannot believe that I'm expected to vote for this. Now, the independents. The independent voters here. Let's see how the independent voters are feeling. It's funny because I want to throw women in with the independent voters. I guess for the voters that haven't fully drunk the Kool-Aid on either side, that's who. If you're wondering who I'm defining as independent voters, not cult members for Kamala or cult members for Trump. I would certainly say that anybody in my comments is saying vote blue no matter who, and I would be on there. There's no way we're going to vote for Trump. It's just not going to happen. But there are some people who are flexible in that regard. How are they going to react to it? King of Cups. I should have said a candidate. But I asked how they're going to react to it, so we'll just run with that. Three of Wands. Disappointment. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem if you're not in control of your emotions. And no, the double card often I used often to represent Trump because of his ability to corrupt those with him. So it's looking at the mature candidate or the candidate that can't control their emotions. Trump is always, he's always airing his grievances. Always airs his grievances. Do you want more years of that? And the other thing, when he airs his grievances, he doesn't supply any proof. It's just his opinion. The other thing that's going with this is the lunacy. I think any one of them that were kind of hoping that Trump was going to do well on this, I think they're disappointed. I think he's not going to come across as coherent. It's going to impact how they vote. Okay. Now, normally I'd lift up the screen and start talking to you about what I got with that one, but that one's kind of an interesting. That's not exactly what I was expecting. Not that I know what I was expecting, but that wasn't quite it. I'm almost wondering, since often King of Cups is a Joe Biden card, how Biden had a disappointing debate and it led to the tower moment for his campaign. I'm almost wondering if Trump is going to go through the same thing. Okay, so now we have to follow that one up with, if Trump's debate performance is feeble, say of a magnitude similar to how many of us felt after the Joe Biden Donald Trump debate. And I'm not trying to trash on Joe Biden at all. I love Joe Biden. I wish his debate performance was different. And I was very angry after that debate because I was so angry at his handlers. How could you let him go out there like that? That was an embarrassment. It might be the same thing with Trump on this one. MAGA might be mad at his handlers. How could you let him go out like this? Maybe Ronnie Jackson doesn't quite get the dosing right this time. If Trump has a poor debate performance, what will the Republicans do? It's too late now for them, but come on down. What will the Republican establishment do after Trump's debate performance, especially if they think he really botched it? King of Wands, taking strong action and leadership. High Priestess, there's the Devil card again. The Hermit, look at Major Arcana. I think Trump's performance... Now, I was asking about his performance being poor, but how I'm going to read this is the establishment is going to have to take strong action and passionate action with Trump's performance. Now, mind you, if Trump does well, then, I think they're going to be happy. I think they're going to feel like that they've done what they needed to do and then go forward with the vote. If Trump bombs on this, there's going to be a lot of anxiety here with Trump, because now they'll question the wisdom if they should go forward, and maybe they should be looking for somebody else. So this really hedges on how well the Republican establishment and how voters are reacting to this debate. Sorry, it's really being nebulous. I wish I had much more definitive cards on this. It just might be one of those debates where both sides feel like they won. Okay. Now, for lack of a better description, and I forget now the person who threw it out there. So I'm going to have Spirit. What else can you just... I'm going to do a 7-carder. We'll wrap up the debate thing. What is it we're supposed to take away from the debate, or what do you want to share with us about the debate? Try and keep... Now, this one is going to be kind of a neutral. I just have to sort of put together the story and figure out where it's going, okay? What does Spirit want us to know about this debate? Come on down. There's that Burden card again. Crossed with the Ace of Pentacles. Some of these cards are looking familiar. And the Devil card. Okay. Tough choices to make. Talking about kitchen table values and, kind of the corruption of our society here. Trump's... The lies, the gaslighting, everything like that goes on. You got the 4 of Wands in the past, the 6 of Wands in the present, 5 of Coins, overarching energy, Ace of Swords is the lesson to be learned, and the Chariot going forward. What does it want us to know about the debate? The burden of proof is going to be talking about kitchen table issues and things of value to folks in the United States. There's been so much gaslighting that everything seems too big to handle. And that, the vilification of the Democrats, MAGA seemingly in a cult, it's an awfulness here. About this debate. In the past, the 4 of Wands, it's opening day. This after the debate, people are coming in. They want to see the spectacle. I think there's going to be a clear winner. What is the winning strategy? It's acknowledging people's struggles. The people that feel left out by government or left out by big organizations is one of the biggest burdens in this country that's affecting kitchen table issues. And they've been looking for the boogeyman for this one. Donald Trump came in 2016 and played on everybody's anger. And, he blamed brown people for it. He blamed Muslims for it. He blamed immigration for it. Blamed Democrats for it. Everything was somebody else's fault, but it was never these people's fault. But really what it was is that a lot of manufacturing jobs went away with NAFTA, and they never came back. And there was never anything to replace it. So people have struggled and they've grabbed onto that anger. With this debate, they might be given a sword of truth and hope. That, you know what, maybe one of these candidates actually represents what we want to see and it's going to move forward with it. So there's not going to be an audience there. You're not going to be gauging how people are cheering and stuff along those lines. Somebody's going to be making some strong points. This card's come up a couple of times. And I do believe it's going to happen with women. Bill Clinton said it best. He says it's the economy, stupid. But that's only partially true in this case. The economy is doing all right by the numbers, but I think there's sections that are struggling. And folks are going to vote for who gives them the best hope for the future. That should be a really easy one. Because one candidate's talking about hope for the future, and the other one's talking about how they're going to go on a revenge tour and incarcerate anybody who stood against them. Which one do you want as your president? What's the future of the country that you want? That's what you got to ask yourself. I'm hopeful for tomorrow. Can't wait to watch the debate. Come join Marina and myself afterwards on our live. There'll be a link on my community page, or you can go to Heart Center Tarot, which is her page, and grab the live over there. Looking forward to talking to you all tomorrow night. Have a good one.